Hello and welcome to chapter 146 of our streaming adventure. Today we are back for even more modern as we continue trying to qualify for ManaTraders series this month. First, I would like to shout out JP's wife, executive producer of the channel, for we've been having trouble with the resub message that when people do the thing and it pops up and it's like, oh, welcome to Pinter's Pack or whatever, and then it goes on to do the resub message, and instead of saying, hey, thank you, insert your name here, for whatever, it doesn't actually do the insert your name and I couldn't figure out why, and it was really frustrating, and I don't have a lot of patience, and I was getting more frustrated. I'm going through all the Streamlabs options because I can see where I create the sub message, but I can't see where the resub is, and I'm doing different things. And my wife's like, well, did you try this? And I'm like, of course I've tried that. I tried that 100 times. And she's like, well, did you try this? And I was like, of course I did. And she's suggesting things. She's like, well, I looked on Google and it says that it would be in your bot settings. And I'm like, MTG bot doesn't do that. MTG bot brings me card things and stuff like that. That's not what that does. Move on. And I try to Google it and it tells me it's in, this setting of your dashboard. And I'm going through all this stuff and I'm like, I know I'm not the biggest streamer in the world, but I feel like I know I created it somewhere because it talks about Dr. Pepper. That's not a normal setting. I made that up. And it's like, I know I typed it and I'm looking for it and I go through every friggin' part of this window and I just literally couldn't find it. So I was getting ready to go live today. She comes down again and she's like, can I just try something? And so she's putting stuff and she's trying to look and she's just like, yeah, that's weird. And it's not the bot. And I'm like, no, because you would bring up the commands. Oh no, it is. Oh no, I'm wrong. So I was like, okay, put in the commands. We bring up the commands and we look at it, and sure enough, resub message. And when you create the sub message, you use the squiggle bracket. So that's what I did for the resub message. Except the settings in MTGBot don't use squiggle bracket, they use percentage sign. So I changed that syntax, and as far as I know, it is now correct, thanks to her intervention. But I will not know for sure until we get a resub. So, I mean, blatant shill. Resub to help me test out the message. But, no, so today the plan was to keep on ManaTraders. I mean, really, since we switched to the green-white Eladamri, Call, Dryad, Elvish Reclaimer, Primeval Titan thing, we're 5-1. Now, the 1 has some extenuating circumstances. I think it's a bad matchup for us anyway, but I think it put me in a bad... I don't know, it got me off my game, and that did not help. So, but overall, I'm impressed with 5-1 from that deck. It kind of turned around the red-green start that we had. So right now we're sitting at 6-4 across our first 10 games, so that's 60%. Now for the ManaTrader series, you need 70% in your first 10, 65% with a minimum of 20 matches played, or 60% with a minimum of 30 matches played. So we've now played a minimum of 10 matches. If we won 4 in a row and we beat 10-4, we achieve 70%. Automatically, we're into the Swiss rounds at the end of the month. Over the court, we also could be 13-7, and that would be enough to hit 65% after 20 games. So from where we are at 6-4, if we go 7-3 from here, then 20 matches will be good. So my first thought is, hey, it's doing well. Why don't you just keep doing it? But then it was, I don't know, part of this whole thing like the ManaTraders sponsoring the stream, allowing me to play different kinds of decks, I think it would be worthwhile to, I don't know, try different kinds of decks. But is that better served, hey, why don't you just qualify first and then you can mess around with different decks? So that's where I'm kind of hemming and hawing of things that we played against. This Hammer Time deck looks... I was going to say it looks interesting, but then realizing how quickly it fell apart because like they had Inkmoth Nexus for a hammer for like a, quick you're dead, but we had a path. And some of these, the top decks are running path, running bolt, probably running path, running bolt. It's Tron. So I mean, I guess that is a saving grace of the version that we played, that we had the pass to get out of it, because we super should have died. Especially when they like threw on the other hammer, and then they're like, oh, so 20 ya? But, so that is a deck that could potentially be interesting. I don't want to necessarily try Oops All Spells in Modern, but I think it's interesting. We know that we already enjoyed the Uro Omnath deck. And actually, so back when we played Legacy, we basically stole the Green Sun Zenith version of the whatever. Hold on, this seems too good. Know someone that loves puzzle you want to give a permanent headache to. My wife loves puzzles. Okay. No, I wanted to look up McWinsauce because they posted... Did they not play the... Or I actually have to go to them. Okay. So, okay. They played in the new prelims. By the way, the new prelims being 4 rounds, I think is just an all-around good plan. And that you still get your 40 QPs off of 4-0, but we have not being able to play in some of the big events and not necessarily doing well in the challenges. I'm falling short of that 40. But for 4-1 to give 40, 3-1 to give 20, and a 2-2 to give 10, I feel like I can chunk my way there better than just like my miscellaneous doing well, and I think I rounded up 20 last season. But had I been able to, have middling finishes in like prelims, I think we could have potentially got there. And I would like to try to get there more. So anyway, point here is that they already were the one whose Omnath lists I've stolen before. So tried out a list from the top 8 of a Harayuya tournament. I like Primetime as a non-forceable mirror threat. No Field of Ruin, though, is wrong. And third Field of the Dead was overkill. So let's look at their... Oh, that's better. I should have just done that. So still have 1 shock, 2 shock, Triome, second Triome, single shock, single shock, single shock. So it's like basically singleton mana base, and they're saying the extra Field of the Dead if that was Field of Ruin. But once again, that's the other thing I like about the green-white deck. I like the Field of Ruin aspect of it. But look, it's basically taking that green-white deck and ramping up all the other colors, because now you have access to counterspells, Teferi, Uro, Primeval Titan. Well, I mean, we already had access to Primeval Titan, so I guess it's more this guy. Well, you have Bolt. You still have Paths. You still are even protected from the stupid Hammer deck. Yeah, I feel like this is the kind of deck that, quote, I would say, oh, this is the kind of deck I like to play. But needing to have like your threats line up at the right time, that's a lot of where I don't want to say I get frustrated, but like, see, this is the acceleration part that the green-white deck is using. Kind of, what's the I want to say Caracas. It's not Caracas. Flagstones of Trocaire. So using Flagstones of Trocaire to be that kind of ramp, because as you blow it up, it replaces itself. So that part of it's interesting. And now here's the thing. I have mocked this Florahedron multiple times now, whereas it could have been good as a tutorable, off Eladomri's call, a tutorable search. Now, do I actually want... I would never want to cast it, though. I think that's the thing. So, a better question is, what are the two-sided lands for Zendikar Rising? Is there a better creature there? Like Cragplate Balon. Okay, maybe not. Will it easily tell me if it's a land on the back? So like this says... Okay, does this... How do I know which is the front and which is the back? Like, is this really Balagad Recovery and the back is? Am I told that because the Balagad Recovery is the normal side? Like, how do you tell with a... See, I know that. I know that the creature is the front half of this card. So that would make me think that this is really the sorcery, and then the back of it's a land. Okay, so then the question is, I need creatures that are lands. I need green creatures that are land. I guess it could be... No, I don't want a white. I don't care about the white as much. So then what are my choices? Kazandu Valley could be a mammoth, and this was suggested at the beginning of having this 3 mana 3/3 that later that I can make more powerful. And I mean, that feels relevant. Okay, both of those lands enter play tapped. So then the question is, would I ever play the 2 mana one instead of the... And maybe... How many 2 mana plays do I really have, right? My 2 mana plays are the Explorers, which we already trimmed, and then Eladomri's Call. Whereas if I went turn 2, play this thing, like actually cast it, then turn 3, I play a 3rd land. I actually have 4 mana. Now, the thought was putting Questing Beast in the, let's say, miscellaneous slot, just because I like the ability of this to break through the board stalls, like we were talking about, Field of the Dead. That Questing Beast will be able to go right through that. But creatures that would be... combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. Okay, who else? You have a symbol on you, right? So like this symbol. Let's make them bigger. So we're looking for symbol cards. Now, the fact that there's only 2 lands here makes me think there's only 2 cards that are a land on the back. At least, no, that's not true. At least that are creatures. Okay, what is... Take off the creature thing. What about the other land? No. Turn Timber Town. No. Turn Timber. Okay, so either a land or look at the top 7. You may put a creature from them. It's a sorcery. You may put a creature from among them onto the battlefield. So it's not cast, but that doesn't matter. If that card has CMC 3 or less, it comes in bigger. So, I guess 7 mana, if I haven't done anything yet, I can maybe hit a Primeval Titan. I just feel like this is going to miss so hard. What's this one? Vastwood Fornication. Yeah. I do feel like the fetch lands have started to come up. They've come up short a little bit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Especially when the fetch lands, I don't want to say are taxed, but that we also have flagstones. There's only so many planes. That does make me, I don't want to say worry, but I am mindful of the lack of land. Now, I do know I have changed cards, so maybe that's just on me for having changed stuff. You know what I mean? There you are. 2 forests. Okay, how many do they have? 2 forests and a plains. Agreed. Sacred Foundry. 2 snow-covered forests. I'm down a snow-covered forest. Why am I down a snow-covered forest? I put something else in. They have 30. I even have less lands. Well, that seems wrong. Okay. Half and half. And sorry, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to do it like this. Okay. So, Blast Zone, check. Bajuka Bog, check. 3 Castle, check. Cavern, check. 2 Field, 4 Flagstones, 2 Forest, Ghost Quarter, Horizon Canopy, Ghost Quarter Plains, Radiant Fountain, Sacred Foundry, Sanctuary, 2 Snow-Covered Forest, Plains, 2 Temple, 2 Valakut, a Vesuva, 4 Windswept Heath, and a Wooded Foothills. But then, okay, this setup does not have Hour of Promise. And I do like Hour of Promise as the cheaper way to get there. So let's look at a couple other ones real quick. Sakura Tribe Elder. That has a Horizon Canopy. What's Scattered Groves? A Cycling. I don't hate that card. I like the idea. What are the ones that they come into play unless you have the 2 basics? Come into play tapped unless you don't say. Is it comes into play untapped? Because it's Battlefield now. Bountiful Promenade. No, it's not that one. Canopy Vista. Canopy Vista. Entering the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. So that is less impressive than the ability to cycle, I think. So we've already lost that card, wherever it might be. Scattered Groves. I like Scattered Groves better. Just knowing that we've run out before, I'm going to drop that. And I really don't hate trimming these fetch lands overall, just because the flagstone ability finding stuff. Like, that's still part of what I'm thinking. And right now, these 2 are the cuts. And I stay at 63. Okay, what else? Ramming up in the sideboard. Celestial Purge still. I like that. Okay. What other possibilities out there. Tangled Flora, you're still not selling me on this Tangled Florahedron. Like, I know it's good, but Sideboard. I don't know. The Aven Mind Sensor has been, like, I understand that it's in the sideboard to do censoring, but I'm not sure that it's the right thing. I mean, I like the name Shortcaster Mage. This is one we saw yesterday too. Spring Bloom Druid to take advantage. This is all holy. They don't even bother with the Explorer. Instead of playing things like Sakura Tribe Elder, which is an Explorer, playing Spring Bloom, which is a Harrow. Because Explorer sucks. Arboreal Grazers exploring like a... This is the one. The Bant Love deck. That would give me another creature to play on 2 if I played the Sakura Tribe Elder. It's just not as impressive. Oh, what are you? Creatures gain trample. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. This is just a, hey, I have a bunch of mana. Wouldn't it be cool if I could do nonsense? And then there's the turn. Does this have to hit a green creature? It does not have to be a green creature. So that is more interesting. That might be more interesting. Here's another Kenrith. The ability for red to give trample, I like. All creatures gain trample. That's an interesting one. Do we have ways to get different colored mana? Like, do I have a way to get black mana? I do. What's this one? Which triomes exist? Because they have to be... Abzan is green, white, black. That's the only one that has green and white. Triome. Green, white. Green, blue. Green, blue, black. I would play this over the Scattered Groves. And we're going to play that the other guy, Kenrith. Because why not? Pause. Get these out. Take out an Explorer. Give me... Sakura Tribe Elder. We're playing some weird ones. We're still at 61. Because I put the Sakura Tribe Elder and I didn't actually cut the Explorer. Okay. So, after all this time, Yes, please. Take me to the ManaTraders. Clear. Upload. Select. This is today's nonsense. Mm-hmm. 36 cards we're looking for here. So I believe I updated something new called sounds. Now, I guess I would have to find where that... It's something that I supposedly enabled, and so I don't know if if you're capable of doing... Oh no, I have to give access to something. I remember that now. So let's do our trade, and then we can test the sounds. So, accept, dump, submit. Confirm. Probably could have looked at their sideboard. Most the same stuff. Okay. Accept. Modern. Update my pictures. Ta-da. Okay. So, there's a new feature on Twitter. Not Twitter. Correction. Twitch. That supposedly... now has sound. Shut up. There it is. Okay, so on the right side of the screen, you should be able to see a Stream Decker current deck list. And if you click that, I'm sure it will tell you the wrong deck. And then below that, you should be able to click on something that says Sound Alerts. So the fact that I am already in it is not letting me do it. Do I have to go to Producer? Sound Alerts, found it. Okay. Configuration Dashboard. And then Settings. And I gave it a color. And I believe I can test it. So I hope you're ready for this. We're going to test the sounds. Hey, cuppa, cuppa, hey, cuppa, cuppa, hey. You're welcome for that. That is not what I was expecting. Hey, cuppa, cuppa, hey, cuppa, cuppa, hey. So you're welcome for that. There are different sounds that exist that I was able to add. And by adding the different sounds, you can assign them different prices. So I just put it at, there's bits and then there's channel point prices to play the... Oh, I did not give them all channel points. I thought I did. Apparently you can only play this. Well, I mean, obviously, right? Why would you not? But there are other things, such as if there's a good play, why can I not practice any of these other ones? So there are things that I have added. I am responsible for the sounds played on. Manage your current sounds. Okay. There we go. We finally have another one. So now I guess that's stuff that I will have to mess with offline. But I wanted you to know that they exist. And you're welcome. So we'll save that. You're welcome. Okay. So, shrink that, close that, and now I think there was something I had to mod sounds. Whatever, let's play. So, bring up the ManaTraders. Bring up playing our next game. And let's play a match. With our changes, do we know if our changes are in there? Do you have a triumph? You have a triumph. Therefore, we have our changes. Waiting for pairings. We will create a match. All right, we have found our opponent. Hello and good luck. Lost the die roll. We have an Elvish Reclaimer. We also have Skirt Tribe Elder. We could 2-4. No, we would be a little bit short. I think this is keepable. They didn't necessarily show. Okay. So now the question is 1, 2. Blue, black with that fetch land. Okay. 1 white. This can still fetch and hit white source for me. Thoughtseize. Well, I only have one card there to find. Which was the plan. So now, is it worth attacking them that they have shocked and Thoughtseized? I mean, right now it is. It's currently 1, 2, 3. That hits me my fourth one. Sure. I guess I don't. What is happening on their side? Why, like the blue-black control? Jace, that's a good one. They have to have basics, right? I mean, I wouldn't play that land without having basics. Great. Great draw there. You dummy. Where is the applause there? Or there's like Mario death sound. That was just dumb. That was just bravo. Bravo, you idiot. Like, seriously, all we had to do is wait. Sure. You got my Path to Exile. So we're currently at 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure. Are you going to target me or target yourself or just go for the normal brainstorm? Yep. We've already played a land. So keep in mind, Sakura is currently land number 6. Okay, they're looking at my top card. Put their card on top. There's currently 1, but I still have Windswept Heath available to me. And I have double of each basic. Is that correct? I have double of each forest basic. Sorry. That's going to be problematic. Okay. They don't currently have... Oh, they only have 1 land. If I cash this in... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I cash this in, I get a second one. If I cash that in, I would go down to 6 lands, and that is not enough. So I'm holding a Temple Garden, so I don't want Temple Garden. Oh, Sacred Foundry. So right now, how many different islands do they have? I guess maybe are they playing around Boyle? Crack your fetch land. Ha 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 ha! They sacked the Seagate, which is not really a land. That is awesome. I hope that pays off. Oh, I hope that pays off. So what are they going to do here? Because I'm going to take out Field of Ruin with the Ghost Quarter. They're going to have to what? They've already blocked. This is Fatal Push. Are they going to Fatal Push the creature that Reclaimers? Yeah. That's bad for them. If I can help it to not just hand over the Field of the Dead. How much attacks have I sent at Planeswalker so far? 1, 2, 3. I could just pick it back up. Alternatively, I could have picked up the Field of the Dead to protect it. But was that the right thing to do? Do they really only have one Mystic Sanctuary? I would think they'd have more than one Field of the Dead. Yeah, okay. Use Field of the Dead as a shuffle. I think Field of the Dead is probably better than Ghost Quarter, and that might be worth playing next. See, the problem is, am I walking into cryptic, counter tap your guys? Oh, I don't have the 4/4 anymore. Where did I put him? Did I put him in the sideboard? I just cut him. Well, now I feel dumb. Does it make any sense to swing? Or I'm going to trade. I'm going to lose my side for no gain. Yeah. Potentially. Okay, it would have been even worse for me that I wouldn't even have gotten that. Sure. Then Gaia Reach Sanitarium will make me discard my card. No, not yet. Sure. Take it. They have to have extra Mystic Sanctuaries, otherwise what are they doing? Do you have this counterspell too? It's a lot of counterspells. And then from there, I am locked out of ever having a draw step. Right? I never get another draw step. Unless it's a spell I can play. Then you've already drawn for the turn, right? That's not bad. Because then I can't even... There's literally nothing I can do, because even it's within the ability itself is not being able to play the spell, because you have no cards when you start the upkeep. Okay, so Snapcaster deck. Now that's the thing, is they're not so much crit. They have the other counter spells as well, though. Raminap, maybe Tireless Tracker. I did have Questing Beast, but I didn't. Did it already get countered? Is that what I did wrong? I thought I looked for it and I didn't see it. Make these overall smaller so that I can get this up there. Okay. Blast Zone has value, true. Maybe Garenbrig out, because there's only so many big green creatures. Skyclave Apparition would still be good. The paths are definitely on the worst side. Like, that's not how I want to be trading for Snapcaster, really. All right. Dear opponent. No, that's not the kind of card I want. I mean, Pithy Needle would be a card to consider. You know, I feel like this could do some Planeswalker damage if I Cavern a Beast into play. Elf Warrior, Nymph Dryad, Core Spirit. I love the synergy of these Caverns of Souls, you dunguses. They do, I guess the variety of the lands that they had does give them some boil protection. I mean, they did have a smorgasbord. I mean, it's slow. I have 3-drop, 3-drop, and they have discard, discard. I guess we'll see how it plays out. I do think, overall, I think Ghost Quarter would be better as a Field of Ruin. Because then it breaks even on my side, whereas Ghost Quarter doesn't seem to do as well over on them. So I think that is a going forward change. Okay. They also kept 7 cards. Plains, Swamp Forest. Yeah, not an island, thankfully. You're killing me, Smalls. Mana Leak. Remand. Okay. So right now, I do not have a red source. Is worth noticing. And I cannot find one easily. I need a fetch land to turn on red source. Because Dryad turning on red source is not the plan you think it would be. Do you have a removal spell? I have a Bounce spell? Okay. Fair enough. Still looking for that red source. Cryptic command counter draw. Okay. Can we get him to play into that? Was my hope. Because if they cash it in, you know what would actually have been smart? Is what if we ghost quartered ourselves? We ghost quarter the flagstone and get a red source. Yeah, seeing it now, after the fact, setting up to ghost quarter our flagstone to get the value is what I missed. So Skyclave should be able to deal with that. Except if they draw perfectly into any kind of removal right now. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. So you think they have force negation, probably, right? I mean, I do. I feel like they would have. Maybe it's a side out? What do you got? Dear opponent, is this a bluff that I have Boil? Do I have Boil? Do you try to deal with Skyclave Apparition? Is my stream stalled out? Has there been an alien attack? Are your clothes in the laundry? Is your microwave timer going off because dinner is ready? I don't know. The fact that I got the spinning down here makes me think that there's timing out or something, but we can see the stream is still flowing from best we can tell. No, it seemed to pop up quickly enough. So although maybe the chat server is different than the game server or whatever, I'm just trying to make sure that it's not. I don't want it to be us to be the thing that is falling behind, if that makes sense. So, I mean, this is a decision for them, whether or not do you try to stop. Are they representing Boyle, yes or no? The fact that they're hesitating and say they have a removal spell, and they could have played Remand and didn't play Remand, you know, what are the things in their hand? Most likely, if they don't have the Force of Negation, you know, excuse me. In the meantime, we'll sit here at 7:01, and it's been 4 minutes. I don't know. What's that inactivity timer thing that we ran into yesterday? Bum, bum, bum. They have lost connection to the game. So, I mean, it was... Something is happening from their side. It's not necessarily decision tree, whatever. There could just be something wrong. Come back, Patsy. Patsy? Maybe. I think after this match, I'm interested in just the... Maybe not actually playing another ManaTrader round, but I think I want to mess with the... I want to see how the Hammer Time deck feels. I mean, I know it is glass candy. Maybe I don't want to see how it feels. So I would wonder more maybe about like this Jund Death Shadow. That's another one where it feels like, so it's aggressive, it can put pressure, and if your opponent can't answer it, it's a Thoughtseize deck that it's like, do you have the answer? No, you're dead. I do like that style. They have lost the game due to inaction. So sometimes you lose the first game and win the match because your connection is better than your opponent's. Opponent disconnect. So hard luck for them, but yeah, we just need 3 more wins.